What up, everybody? It's Amzai, and we're finally back. We've been away for a little bit, but we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing podcasts and show takeovers, meaning I'm going to be bringing in different groups of shows and podcasts, whether they be locally or in the region. They're going to come take over my show because I got tired of writing shows, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to be a part of whatever conversation that they were originally going to have on their show. We're going to have it tonight. So we're going to be talking about a wide variety of things and getting to it. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce the first people I reached out to be a part of this takeover series of my show, the San Pluto Show, exclusively on VibePod Media. Make sure to like and subscribe to VibePod Media on Facebook and YouTube. And boom, today we have the Will You Ask podcast. Two of the three. Make some noise.
You know what I'm saying? We up
Make some noise.
Hey.
Make some noise for Mazilla, and we got D live at 5 in the building, man. So how y'all doing today, man? And thank y'all for doing this. First of all, they checking their lives, make sure we get and stuff. Make sure we share the live. Go ahead and do that. How y'all doing today? Thank y'all for doing this. So
I'm good.
All right, cool.
Little tired,
D, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man.
Man, we got a wide range of things to talk about tonight. But before we do, let's talk about y'all's podcast and
how we the best?
How y'all the best, and you know what y'all got going on with the podcast, and what's in store for the future for the Will You Ask podcast.
Well, it's three of us, so shout out to
T1, hold it down, watching the kids.
Hold it down.
That's the other enforcer of the podcast. But yeah, basically, we pride ourselves on bringing the topics that's kind of edgy, I guess you can say controversial a little, but we tend to try to talk about stuff that we are kind of knowledgeable about, you know, versus getting on here.
Kind of knowledgeable?
Yeah, like we got some kind of knowledge on it. Like, you know, sometimes like if we talk about, I think somebody has said we don't talk about
Mental health
or finances, right? So I'm like, yeah, we can, but we're not experts in credit repair or nothing like that. Okay. You know,
so we don't want to bring someone on to talk about it, but we're not going to personally talk about it because that's not our expertise. Right. Then when we asked them, have you tuned into our podcast to see if we talk about it, they said no. So that was another story.
Yeah. But it was just one person. So
it was, but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so we try to pride ourselves on doing that, but we also pride ourselves on including other podcasts. So when we do our podcast events, we tend to bring out other podcasters to share the platform because it's basically cross-promoting if you know you look at it that way. So
it's business 101.
Right, like. You know, so you know our audience can view yours, your audience can view ours, and so forth and so forth. So I mean we did like how many? Four.
This will be our fifth one coming up soon in March.
And they've grown.
We got some surprises coming for that one. That's gonna be dope. We'll give you the theme, rep your clicks, rep your podcast. Because last time was grown and sexy. We had you dress up, but this time you can dress down in your jerseys, your t-shirts,
white tees.
You know, rep your click.
Tall tees
on the 2000s back in the day where they wore the bandanas and the hat. No, the fabulous
Dipset
style.
Dipset.
Dipset the long jerseys for no reason.
We got that coming. We also got a game night. We getting together a game night. It's gonna be a twist though to the game night.
Exactly.
You would like it.
Okay.
You would love it.
Like twisted shit kind of.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just watching your games. You would like it.
Okay, cool. So that's the story. So I know I know we talked about it off air, but y'all have a date for either one of the events?
Not yet. We're thinking beginning March area. We'll let you know. Hopefully by the end of this week.
Because we're trying to find a venue.
Like we have a location. We just got to book it down and go visit it, and make sure it's all A1s, day one. Cool. So, and then game night, we trying to have it at the Bobby Jordan Center where we record.
Right.
So we feel like that'd be dope
like
for y'all to.
Something like that, or that little lounge.
It's like they got like a little open.
Yeah, they have
a little open.
They have like
right
two
there.
open spaces we can use. So we're gonna try to do that too.
Yeah, and they already got chairs and stuff. So that's less stuff we gotta rent and all that. So
I'm excited for that.
Yeah. The game night is
exactly.
The game night is gonna be legit. Initially, I had told him we wanted you to be a part of it. We was thinking about here, but it's not enough. It's not enough space. But we did want you to be a part of it.
The other game night, no, a different game night.
It was a different game night. It's not the one we had.
The couples,
now.
the couples one that we talked about. We're still gonna do that, but like I said, when you're married, you can't just get up and go. Nah. So I'm happy that I'm single for now.
But shout out to everybody that's married, right?
Yeah.
But if you single, my number is 2. No,
getting those tax breaks, it's good.
So, like I said,
I'll claim
guys,
one of y'all kids.
We're doing a What You Ask podcast takeover. So I'm gonna be a guest on my own show. So I'm gonna let them lead the way on the conversation, and I'll chime in and be actively a part of the conversation as well. But they sent there some pretty cool topics that we're gonna go everything, right? So we're gonna make sure we get our points across and talk about everything in its entirety, and then we'll kind of keep going on with some of the topics they had in mind to talk about. So without further ado, take over.
All right. So well, first let's do our intro. How we do
You really want to do that?
Yeah. Because we got
spray paint on my shit right now. They tagging my shit right now. Like,
okay. Yo, it should go DJ Baby Blue Diamond.
Man, it's your boy D, a.k.a. Mr. Live at 5 himself.
And it's your fella.
It's your fella.
T1.
And we are the Live at 5.
Where you at?
I'm finna say Live at 5 Studios. My bad.
You're fired.
My bad. I've been working in the studio,
with his podcast.
Yeah,
and we are the Where You Ask podcast.
And I ain't gonna say, I don't know if y'all do the I kind of cuss a lot. Not a lot, but
we cuss a lot over here.
Okay, so but usually when she said that, I usually be like, "Beep." They never notice I said.
Yeah,
though.
no, we do. We just
I be like, "Beep."
You feel like I should say that at the end of everything.
But yeah, so without further ado, man, let's get into these topics. It's gonna be it's probably a little bit. I ain't gonna say edgy, but I don't know a lot of people that really be talking about these type of topics. But before we start, it's been a minute, so. On a scale of 1 to 10, mental health wise, what would you put yourself right now?
1 being 10 being the greatest.
1 being we need to call Dr. Phil, set up something. 10 being
no, not Dr. Phil. Ayana fixed my life.
Okay,
it's Black History Month.
We could do that.
I'm like a 5.8.
5.8. Yeah. That's not. See, that's. I always say I'm teetering on between a 6 and a 7. I'm always teetering between a 6 because it can always be
5 is in the middle. Why are you a 5? You don't mind me asking?
Yeah, well, if you round up, I'm kind of a 6.
Yeah, he did.
I'm a 5.8. So I'm a little bit above the middle, but
I don't know, the way you said that just made me seem like someone called you a 9.5. If you round it up, I'm a dime.
Yeah, I'm a dime.
That's the way you said
Technically,
basic math.
Basically, I'm a dime.
Nah, just juggling it all.
Being busy.
Being busy. Thinking about the fam constantly and the future, all that stuff like that. I'm not in a bad space mentally, like depression like that. It's just jitters of the mind, and just outlook of the future and all these different projects in place. That closing deals, trying to close deals, and so that's all.
Yeah. I always say 6. I'm about a 6 or 7. I'll never say 10. If you say a 10, I'm concerned. A 10 and a 1, I'm concerned.
No, facts.
Why are you a 10?
Yeah.
Well, unless you're a 10 for that day.
Yeah, you could be 10 for a day, but it's like overall.
General,
like
overall,
you're right.
Yeah. I'm about
you
to
could
5,
be 10
6,
for a day
7 right now.
because I was a 10 when my kids was born. Like that was like a 10 day.
And then once
the
walking,
next day I went back. It went back. You like.
Then once they started walking, you were like,
Yeah, no. Yeah, definitely a 5 after that.
But you said 5, 6, 7. That's what. She said, I'm at a 5, 6, 7. Like,
I'm
okay.
a 5, 6, 7. Yeah.
You're going up and down.
I work with kids, so,
Imagine having them.
The joy of the world, huh?
I know. From pre-K 3 up to 5th graders, man, you get to
imagine
see it all.
leaving home.
You get to see the unpotty train, and you get to see the 5th grades when they going through their phases of I'm about to be a middle schooler. You can't tell me what to do. Drama
Shouts out to the educators. Shouts out to the educators
shout out
around
to
the world.
Man. Shout out
to
my
deserve more money.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to my wife, man. She's in the education field. So.
My wife is education.
D Jones too.
D Jones.
Shout out to
education.
Your wife
is
too.
Deserve it all. Yeah.
Shout out to your wife.
At a child center though, but yeah.
Still.
Man.
Okay.
But
thanks for asking though.
We
try to do that.
We try to do that a lot because
especially at a live podcast.
Yeah, a live podcast.
Check in on people.
Yeah, we did that. We went around, asked people, because you never know what people are going through.
Never.
And you asking might just help them.
Right. And then the stuff that we talk about that probably can shed some insight on something that they. That's why we talk about the stuff that's not necessarily deemed. It's not openly talked about a lot.
Oh, so, it's not like the trending topic.
Right. So some of those topics that got to do with like mental health. Like a lot of us are not comfortable with talking about mental health. You know, we never grew up with somebody caring mentally how we are.
Especially for men.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, especially for men. So that's one of the key things that we asked. And plus I had a incident where my mom went through like a whole thing with her mental health. So that was just like, dang, because you see the people and they seem like they got it strong and they're going, and then one day they just like hit rock bottom. And you like, what's going on?
I thought
like,
you had it together.
Right. So it be the strongest ones, the ones that smiling. Those usually be the ones that's going through it. So
of course.
But
what y'all should do going forward, just to add to what you were saying, is when y'all are doing those mental health kind of check-ins on your show, maybe adding a resource or a number.
Right.
I remember it was a previous show. Somebody shared something that was really close to them about, SA, like, sexual assault.
Yeah.
And I always, if I have my computer in front of me, I usually like to hurry up and really quickly provide a resource.
Right.
Look for, whether it's domestic violence or.
I like that.
I just Google it real quick, and then I look up the national hotline and make sure to say it on the live stream. If
right. Because somebody else might be also. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we're gonna have to start doing that. We might, if we can, we might have to get in touch with some of those people and bring them on. Actually talk about that live on air. Whoever's tuning in that might just be the day. Let me check out and see what they talking about on here, and boom, you know what I'm saying. So
you never know.
But so first topic of many.
Get to it.
Oh Lord.
So what are y'all thoughts? And I seen this. I think this still happens today, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But your thoughts on some cultures, arranged marriages.
Okay.
You think that's
should that still be a thing?
Yeah, should that still be a thing?
Should we like get rid of that?
Westernized is
But you said you kind of said it at the beginning, at the intro, in certain groups and cultures still practice that. So yeah, if they feel like that should still be a thing.
Do you think it will work? Do you see that it being able to like work out? Especially the reason why I asked about arranged marriages, because for some reason we can't get we picking our own spouses. We can't get it together.
Yeah, maybe not like being suited. Maybe not here in a Western society that we're in. It may not. It's just so many different things going on at once, culturally and just ideology and perspective wise. But I mean, arranged marriages, I'm not gonna say I have necessarily nothing against it. For certain cultures that practice that, my only thing is just like, I hopefully there's something in most cultures, age restriction wise, or like, protection wise. When I think of different cultures and what they practice and do, the first thing that comes to my mind is safety. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hopefully there's some type of bylaw or law that says like, okay, we do this here, but hey, there's some restrictions, goddamn it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't want to be having a 26-year-old, 27-year-old marrying the 14.
Because in America, there's some religious groups that like marry children. You know what I'm saying? In this country, and they having babies with these kids. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's just too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but, the reason why I seen on social media, it was a couple that they was arranged from where they was from. It was I can't but think of what country in Africa it was, but they got set up there.
Yeah,
and it was fine there, but they moved here.
Okay,
and it became an issue. But like you say, it's different
issue by law or just
an issue with like. It's a lot of stuff you get exposed to here versus over there.
You probably saw a big booty chick and was like,
I mean, you in the motherland. I'm pretty sure that is definitely there.
You saw Becky. He got that Becky and was like,
Lord,
no, I'm joking. But isn't that what 90 Day Fiance kind of is, sort of?
Huh?
But 90 days, they set you up?
I mean, yeah, but 90 Day Fiance, I think you're going like, you get to decide. Oh, no, that is like almost.
Yeah, you don't get to see who you're marrying. You marry that person for 90 days, and then at the end, you get to decide if y'all want to stay married or not.
Yeah, I think arranged marriages though is
it is reality TV too, but still, them setting you up is not fake. The only part that's fake is like the drama that y'all kind of go through a little bit. But
I think with the arranged marriages, how they had it, it was more fitting for like royal families. Yeah. So you might not know who this person is. It's just the king and the king talked.
Yeah.
From
thousands of years ago to now, it's almost been always a business decision.
Yeah.
You know, and then the people that are like, fuck, man, I can't make any decisions around this bitch are usually the kids.
Yeah.
Like, or the young
But over
adults.
there, too, they have more stuff to barter with. What are we going to barter with?
Yeah, I think over there, their marriage is
it's
totally
more like
different.
I can give you corn, I can give you goats.
Right, yeah.
Down here, it's like, what we going to give you?
And
I'll give you my apartment bedroom.
Yeah, but kind of like in America, though, there are some, wealthy families that have remained close to each other since the beginning of time.
Yeah,
in this
and they
country.
marry each. That's
since the beginning of time. Some
I think
families,
if I'm not mistaken, the royal families they still do that. Some of them even, if it come to a point, I think some of them do incest, just to keep.
That's why they ain't like
that royal.
She wasn't part of the royal.
That's why. What's the dude name that just married? That married the black chick, Prince.
Yeah, Prince Harry.
Yeah, him.
That's why they don't like Meghan Markle because she wasn't part of the royal.
Because like you're what are you doing? Like
they ain't like the cocoa butter around the house.
I don't even. I mean, yeah, because she was black, but I think even if she was like Hispanic or anything besides what they wanted, it was gonna be an issue. It didn't matter.
But it's crazy because they have black in their family down the line.
Yeah, but
they just don't want to talk about it.
Of course, that's. I think everybody's family tree has a Roscoe in it somewhere. It's a Roscoe in there. Yeah,
he said, "Yeah, hey, what Jerome?
Day Day. They got a Day Day.
It's a Jerome.
There's a Day Day somewhere.
You be looking at the family tree, be like, "Hey, who is Roscoe?" They be like, "We don't talk about Roscoe.
Who's Peaches?
We don't talk about Roscoe.
Who's Peaches? Day Day and Roscoe.
Like Bruno on what's that movie? Encanto.
Encanto. We don't.
It's almost like Bruno. So yeah,
we don't talk about Peaches.
I was just thinking that because when you, I was wondering if celebrities do this. Do you think they do this? Like the celebrities we have now, do they try to set their kids up with?
Absolutely.
Because then somebody right now
they try to suit them. See if there's something that happens between.
Yeah.
To be honest, like some people out here around the globe forcing their kids, forcing this, and some people just kind of like, y'all go do something, see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially if they grew up around each other, they might just end up having feelings, and then it might work out, it might not. Mm-hmm. You never know.
It's a legacy thing, man. It's crazy, and I mean, all ethnicities all groups across the planet since the beginning of time has practiced some type of Game of Thrones type shit.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
The Egyptians, I mean, they were like that shit was all just fucking. It was just, you know what I mean? A lot of groups. The thing is, over time we adapt different, ideologies, and zeitgeist, and you know what I mean. Like this is the general norms of the time.
But just imagine you found a love of your life. You like, you know what? We're gonna get married. She like, before I say I do, you got to pass Survivor. Are you still going for it, or you be like, you know what? I might have found somebody
series,
else.
Like one
in
of those
general,
shows?
yeah, you gotta fight. Or like Amazing Ways. She's like, before I say I do, you gotta survive.
That's
Amazing
funny,
Ways,
I just seen
and then buy me the ring.
I just seen a post of this.
Like,
I don't know if she. I'm just gonna say Asian. That would be the right thing, right? Besides calling them a Chinese, Japanese, Asian. So it was an Asian lady that swam, whichever word you want to use.
I did see that.
I forgot how far she was, but it was far. She
for her man.
Yeah, I did see that.
To get married to this dude that she met on social media.
You think men are doing the same thing?
No, hell no.
Hell no.
Nah, I'm catching Uber.
Let me get on this. Let me get on this ferry.
Well, that's how it really is on those 90 Day Fiance shows and stuff. Like, or not just that too. Was it Love Abroad and all these shows? They thinking they marrying a prince, a king, and then when they get there, it's like, oh, so you don't have a job? You live in a shack?
Right. Yeah, I think that's why I was thinking about the celebrities, because they don't want. They trying to, like, their kid is their asset, really. So they don't want them to be passing on wealth to their kid, and then their kid, especially their daughter, is marrying this dude that is
a bum.
Yeah, a bum. He plays Fortnite and he doesn't get paid for it.
Exactly.
See, and that's the thing. It's ultimately it can be a really dark business decision.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fact of the matter is it happens, and it's dark, and it's dangerous, and
exactly.
It's like they think it's some type of legacy thing, disregarding feelings. Like it's just a lot, man. And I can see, it's kind of weird because you can see how some cultures and groups thought, like, okay, if like, my wealth can't go to a fucking peasant, like,
right?
Yeah.
So, but I know my kid like this person, this peasant, but I don't want my shit to go to this fucking, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just doomed, man. But
it is.
And again, like we know, it's still practiced today,
right?
And I wouldn't even say it's probably as dark as it is today as dark as it was then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they kept up the same thing because a lot of the countries in Africa, those villages, they not out here on TikTok and stuff.
Nope.
Not like that. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
they not getting exposed to this world. Like women over there is not getting exposed to all the freedoms that the women have here. Imagine them seeing that. They like, well, why would I do that when I can just go over to America and I can do what I want?
But just think about it. Who knows? Shit in America might change, because it wasn't too long ago there was a Supreme Court case called Loving versus Virginia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where it was like, a black woman fell in love with they fell in love together.
Fell in love with a white woman.
White woman, white man.
Yeah.
Fell in love, and it took this a Supreme Court case to be like, okay, these colors and whites can,
they can mix and mingle.
But you see the way the general dynamic in culture is now with the way things are kind of going, and young girls don't have as many rights as they did 50 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So who knows what's next?
You never know.
We know they hate the gays, the trans, and they hate this, they hate the blacks. Like
everybody.
They like, what's next? I know it's kind of like one of those things. Like
everybody.
You could say, I just love the earth, and I wish that we can appreciate that. And they'll hate you for that. It's nothing hateful that you just said.
Like, I like Jesus. The fuck out of here. You don't like fucking Jesus. Fuck out of here. Is he white Jesus or black Jesus? Which one do you like?
Is he white Jesus?
Which one?
Yeah.
Well, while we speaking of cultures, this brings us to the next topic of the passport bros. And it's not just,
I don't know what the hell this is.
We're about to tell you what it is, but it's not just bros, it's women too.
Okay. Is it?
Yes, it really is.
I'm nervous.
It's a thing, but what it is men and women getting their passport to go overseas to find them a traditional husband and wife that's going to say yes sir, no ma'am, and do the traditional house duties. Men mainly do it for a traditional wife. Right. So they go like to Asia or to Africa.
Have seen this. Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know the name.
They get a woman that barely knows English, bring them back, and because they're gonna stay home, be the stay-at-home mom, watch the kids, clean, cook, and that's what they want. None of the black women they say that do the sassy talk back, ghetto. They don't want none of that. So that's basically what it is. And they do this a lot. They take trips. Yeah. They get their homeboys and say, let's take a trip to Asia. Let's take a trip to China. And that's what they do. That's what the main trip.
But they go to
go find them a traditional.
They go to like Brazil and
all
they're
not
necessarily getting.
But women are doing it too now.
Of course,
women are starting to do it now too to get them a man that's going to treat them.
But what's weird? The weird part about it is, you can scroll on social media. I seen a dude do an experiment, right? He said you can go on, I think he said it was TikTok, and you put in men hate speech, and you get a whole bunch of videos of women saying, basically dogging out dudes. Okay. But if you do the opposite, it's not really, they don't really let you make videos like this. Your video is going to get flagged if you get on there and you're talking negative about to a certain extent about women. So it's not a thing. So what happened is women labeled these dudes passport bros, not men. Men didn't do that. Men was just doing it. They just started saying, you know what? I can go to Venezuela. I can find me a woman that's ready, that was raised to be a wife.
But I think the issue is not that they're doing it. It's the fact that they are making videos about it and throwing it in your face. Like, I got me, I don't know, I don't want to make up some Asian name, but I got me this girl from Venezuela, Brazil, whatever. She can't speak Spanish, but she's going to cook and clean. You black women aren't going to do the same thing. Yeah, so it's like throwing it in our faces.
Yeah, but that's not, because it's always so. No matter what you do, it's always somebody that's doing it to the extreme. Even it's just like religion. You have Christians, and then you have extreme Christians, right? You have Islamic, then you have the extremes. You know, it's always so. You got dudes that's literally trying to find them a wife, not a girl, not a baby mama, but a wife. And they're going to other countries because their traditional values are still upheld. Yeah. They still teaching. The women are seeing their mom and the dad together all these years, and she's seeing this is what I need to do to be a wife. Yeah. It's women now are doing it. They're doing it just because the men are doing it.
Yeah. And I feel like you got kind of white person, because there's some women who generally want to be a traditional wife, and then there's some who just come over here for, you get married for a little bit, and I got my green card. I don't need you anymore.
Right. So
let's
get divorced. We'll take on this
phenomenon. My thing is, you can find anyone anywhere. If you find love, you find love. I don't think you need to go out of state or out of the country to generally look for love. But if you just happen to take a trip, a vacation, and you find love, that's different.
Imagine going to another country where women are not saying black men ain't shit, and they actually appreciate you. Imagine that. Like, that's basically what it is. They're going to these, you can see videos, they going to these other countries, and women are like showering them with love. I seen a dude eating at a table, and a woman is like literally like massaging him.
Well, can we be clear? Let's interject finance into this too, because a lot of these countries are very, very poor countries, especially.
So they're looking for a better life too.
Exactly. Yeah. So they like, oh fuck, this could be our way out, family. Like,
you look at McDonald's, that's more than what I got.
Yeah,
but I know nobody ain't on McDonald's got a passport going over there.
So if a black dude has,
you never know.
You never know.
If an American black guy has traveled all the way over here, they probably would see this guy like, okay, this guy has a little bit of bread.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can just pretend follow. They can be falling.
They taking a chance. Also.
Everybody's falling into the traps, no matter how it looks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just kind of foolish to kind of go online to make these videos, because I'm really against the salacious shit. Like, I don't really engage in no conversations when it comes to like talking about black women like degrading. I don't partake in that shit. I don't want to hear none of that shit. I don't want to hear no Fresh and Fits, no Andrew Tate's podcast. I don't listen to none of. I don't even like have conversations like, so what do you think about when black women do? I don't want to. I'm not doing that. No,
exactly.
Because there's too much going on. It's like I don't perceive the things that they say as like. It's like a lot of black folks in this country, you know what I'm saying, and across the world, which makes us the global majority. Yeah. And when you think about the word diaspora, that's like all of us being connected everywhere.
Right.
And partnerships across the planet. Yeah. So I don't like to partake in any of those salacious conversations some shows and podcasts do.
Yeah, Fresh and Fit is.
I don't like
Fresh and Fit is.
It's stupid.
They're ridiculous.
But I'm specifically talking about black women. Like,
they
See, I didn't get that. They talk about women in general.
Yeah, right.
And they talk about
but I heard them say, we don't
date like
diddle in the dark or some darkies or something like that. And I'm like,
I don't like none of
that.
And see,
shit. I've never. And although I don't agree with everything Andrew Tate says, he doesn't. I don't hear him saying black women specifically. He usually generalizes women that all together.
Honestly, like, what the fuck? He probably said some fucking voucher.
Yeah, he may. Chances are he is. Chances are.
I'm just surprised no one's made an app for the passport boys and girls. Like, we have Christian Mingle, we have Black Minute.
Because I think
it's careful because somebody gonna get hit for human trafficking or some shit like that.
It was a dude that went over there. It was a dude that went over there and he vlogged. And he was just showing his experience throughout the time he was there. He came back here and he said he didn't go over there looking. A lot of dudes is not going over there looking for wives per se. They're just going over there for the treatment. Like, they're going over there getting treated.
That's so foolish.
Like they getting treated like
spend thousands of dollars for the treatment.
I mean, if you got
but these dudes, the dudes that's going is
they got money. But
they usually like they got some bread on them. Yeah. So they can pay for the experience, So I don't even think necessarily all of them are going for for love, I guess you can say. But The only crazy part about it is that when they was going, and I haven't seen a lot of videos on the dudes that I've seen that's like telling black women like, you ain't shit, this, and this. They just saying, out the relationships that I had, my experience, I haven't had a good experience with black women here in America. So I'm going, because they're not only going to Asia and stuff, they going to Africa, Jamaica.
They going to different countries.
They traveling. They just traveling.
Yeah, they just outside the U.S.
And you know, women, like I say, women values are different elsewhere. You know, so they treat you differently. My cousin told me in the military, when he got, I think he was in Russia, like those women over there like love black men. I'm pretty sure it's borderline fetish, but you know, they love black men over there.
Crazy though, like I just think it's so crazy because like it's just wild to me, man. Because some guys just can't, like they just I don't know, they don't have something in them. They can't like they feel lower or lesser because maybe a woman is in a position of power or makes this compared to them, and they feel less dominant. Oh, I'm a shrimp, I'm a coward because my woman can talk like a regular intellectual human being. Like, yo, like this is weird to me, man. Like,
and it was weird.
Generation. That's what it is.
The weird part is that now women,
social media
if women
age.
are doing it, now y'all about to be a part of the same problem.
Like, cause me, I'm convinced. I mean, call me like a dadvocate or a fucking woman convict.
A dadvocate?
I'm definitely a dadvocate though. But like, I'm convinced that like, yo, whatever issues we got going on on a global geopolitical spectrum, men ain't gonna solve this shit, bro. Like, this bitch is about to be over, dude. Like, I'm talking about nuclear waste through the lands. We can't breathe air no more. Like, it's just, I'm convinced.
We're gonna have to go live in the water.
I'm convinced this shit is over with. Dudes continue to run this bitch, man.
Well, I can honestly say that, you know, for the most part, we're not running it.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not so the Fortune 500 companies in this bitch is not ran by generally people of color nor the country. So if this bitch does burn down, hey, fuck it, you know. But
yeah, I mean, every empire has come to an end at some point.
Exactly.
Yes. Every big empire. America is an
we young
empire,
as hell too, but people don't know that.
Right. Yeah, and we've been in war for a lot of those years.
People don't know. We don't know what peace means.
Nah.
We've never been at peace, people. But go ahead.
It's definitely not this. It's definitely this.
Yeah.
Peace or peace? Nah.
Yes,
put your hands up. Put your hands up.
Well,
but
I was gonna say while we're talking about the age gap, we can talk about the minimum age.
Oh, the wage myth.
Okay, let's get into this. Go ahead. I want to hear what y'all got to say about this.
So I see. So do you think it's a wage discrepancy between men and women?
Absolutely.
And color too.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah, color definitely. But so, in what fields? So, like, example.
I want to say majority. I want to say education. I would not say education because
everybody's underpaid in education.
Everybody underpaid.
Even if you are getting some money, you probably still underpaid.
So are you putting it like
corporate levels, executives, lawyers? I feel like lawyers,
C-suite. You know, when it comes to like those higher executive positions of
exactly.
Sure.
So like
people who work at law firms.
So I've seen this brought up. I want to see what y'all think. So a lot of the jobs that men do, I'll say, so women go to school. I would say black women go to school and graduate more than any demographic, right?
Mm-hmm. They're one of the highest growing rates.
But what jobs are they getting with these degrees?
I've heard this talking point before. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just curious because I heard the talking point before too, and I just found it interesting. Nursing is a big field, but like it's not a lot of women in construction.
Yeah, see that's something like so we're comparing like the physicality jobs versus
So if you say lawyer or what'd you say exec or something like that, I would see that because I think it was a whole thing about women, especially women of color. That's just a whole.
That's what we talking. That's
just a whole nother thing right there. Yeah,
not like the physical jobs, like trash man or fucking.
Right. Yeah.
We're talking about like these high level jobs that could really move some shit in countries. You know what I'm saying, or domestically or regionally. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
even would we even go to like presidential? I'm
not sure. You would think these folks got bread. You know what I'm saying?
But isn't presidential salary like set?
Yeah.
I'm not set for each one.
Probably.
So it doesn't matter if a male, woman, black, white. I think their salary
is a salary
set.
base for the president, but
set.
Most of them still generate so much money outside of the salary.
Doing other stuff.
Like I mean, I'm pretty sure like they write books and memoirs and all that stuff. I kind of think of it like I would say I just got hipped on it with pastors. A lot of pastors that make a lot of money. Yeah. They also write a lot of books. And
lots
stuff
of books,
too. So that's a lot. They get paid for speeches.
$100,000, $50,000 for just talking a couple minutes.
You know because I was just like, what? Like, why are y'all? How are these pastors this rich?
Prosper preachers.
Right. That was just one of the things that
the
just
BS
was like,
relationship books.
Yeah, what's the dude in Houston? Joel Osteen. And then Creflo.
Well, not just that too. Jamal Bryant. Remember I sent you a video with T.I.?
Yeah.
In his experience.
Jamal Bryant. That's Atlanta, he was married to
that housewife.
Okay. Yeah.
When
T.I. did say that.
He said that he liked the fact that he's told people like to give like 20 people to give $1,000. Don't you want to get your blessing from the Lord? You better give your money.
I hate it.
He was like, if you would have said this is for the community outreach, I would have donated. But you telling me that God is not going to get my blessing? I'm not going to get a blessing from God unless I get $1,000? Get out of here. They
do it too, but I mean,
they do.
So, but
it's up to you to give too. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. Yeah, don't let nobody pressure you. You gonna be the one can't make your rent.
Amen. If the broke people can leave the church, amen.
Man,
don't let the
there are some pastors
out.
Who will call people out.
Yeah,
I've seen videos where pastors call you out.
I've seen churches that got
where
ATMs
this couple was supposed to get married, but they missed like 2 services for whatever reason. They say, you trying to get married in my church and you missing services? Like,
you going to hell if you didn't tie. You going to hell because you didn't tie.
We talked about that too. We talked about the tithing, what it really means, and all that.
That's the extreme.
That's another topic.
I'm agnostic, but
man.
So the wage gap. I with the executive levels, I could see that being definitely true. But as far as like us average people, I think the playing field. Me personally, I think the playing field is open. Like,
so okay, when you say open. And average people, more details.
So like your everyday 9-to-5 workers,
like but your truck drivers.
I mean, it's a lot of women truck driving now.
Well, that's what I meant. Like, do you mean like the ages?
Yeah.
I mean stuff like that. Like people who work at HEB.
So
stuff
the physical
like
work,
Walmart, people that do that. Stuff like
that. The physical work. I think it's jobs.
Absolutely, applying for a job, a cashier job at HEB is wide open. But we're talking about as we begin to grow in the company and who gets these looks. I mean, let's just be honest. Women just have to work harder. That's just the end of the story. You know what I'm saying? To get these potential looks. You know what I'm saying? And all kind of workplace things that goes on historically and statistically in comparison to males, what they got to deal with. It's just a fact. It's like we just pulling shit out of the air right now. There's just data on this, man. But I'm just saying, like, if we can both apply, male and female can apply for this cashier, but we want to grow with the company, things begin to get a little hairy. Not saying the woman can't get the position.
It's going to be harder.
It's just, say if it's 0.5% tougher, but it's just tougher.
It's just tougher.
You know what I'm saying?
Do y'all feel like these degrees matter anymore?
It depends on what you get a degree in.
Yeah. And
some schools, I wouldn't even... Some stuff you don't. At this point, some of the things you can learn by just going to a
But I'm just saying, but does it matter for you to get hired in general? Like even if you go to a trade school, you still get a certificate.
Because sometimes you get a degree, you're overqualified.
Yes, that's what I'm asking. Does it even matter?
I think you did say it. I guess it depends on the position.
And then also the reason why I asked that too is like for me, I'm back in school to become a teacher, right? But I work at a public school, so you have to have a degree. But sometimes at charter schools, you don't need that, and they'll hire you to be a teacher. So it makes me wonder, like, do I stick with the public school and get my degree?
But charter schools is private though, so
it is different. But still, I'm just saying, like, does it matter? That's what it's still, because you're still teaching kids.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder: does the teacher with the degree and the teacher without the degree, can they still teach your kid the same? That's what I'm trying to get at.
But also, in your case, you have hundreds of hours under your belt already in that experience. Right. So if somebody has a degree, bachelor's degree in education, right, versus you who is going to school, but they don't have any hours, but you have real time, real life work experience, and you can demonstrate and prove that, then maybe you don't have that degree yet, but you probably already up here in the lab.
Yeah. And then also, too, makes you want to, cause like I said, charter schools tend to just hire anyone. Sometimes they do have degrees, but let's say they got a degree, let's say they got a law degree. Then it's like, you know what? I want to teach elementary school. I want to teach third grade. And it's like, does your law degree really?
Nah.
But you going to be in there, someone saying 1 + 1 is 3? I object.
It looks good. 2. It looks good on a resume. I know it looks good.
But I always wonder, like, do you feel like that matters in general?
Me, I hate what's going on with colleges.
Or if someone becomes a manager, does that matter if they tell you to go back to school? But it's like, I don't need to go back to school.
It used to. Like if you was to be a manager at
anything,
and you had like an associate degree or something in business management or something that matter. I worked at a warehouse with the example you gave. The supervisor that I had worked at the warehouse for 5 years. They relocated him to a different warehouse and brought another manager in because he had a degree but had no warehouse experience.
It's crazy.
And our warehouse ended up going from rank number 3 to like 15.
Like when people decide to leave the classroom and become like principals, assistant principals, and counselors, and they only been in the classroom for like 2 years, and they feel like, oh yeah, I can run a school. But it's like, but you only taught second grade. You don't know anything about the other grade levels.
And some of those positions require a master's degree.
They do, but I still feel like you need that experience. I feel like you can have the degree, but you, like you said, you need that experience too.
I agree with that.
Because the degree is just your name on paper, saying that you went to classes and typed in some essays.
It's like that with CDLs. It's like that with CDLs. You can get a CDL, but when you get hired on, when you fill out an application, they're asking you what's your driving experience. Like how long? And most companies require you to have at least 8 to 10 months of driving experience. Because you can go pass the test.
But that's another thing that you thought of too. Remember how when you was first trying to get hired somewhere and they need the experience?
Yeah.
But it's like, but I don't have experience.
They needed 9 months.
They don't give me experience.
They needed, well, yeah.
So it's like that at a lot of places. You get these degrees, but it's like, oh yeah, you need experience before we hire you. But nobody will give me experience. So how am I going to gain experience?
Yeah, it's all fucked up, man.
It
really
when
it comes to this education
and the best college is YouTube, man. I'm saying it's $3.99. YouTube University.
It's kind of crazy how much they charging with for these degrees and then the jobs. So we have to like right now with my daughter, I always like to see if she's interested in like STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math.
Yeah, that's good.
So because when it comes to like a lot of this
you
stuff,
said STEM, I thought you would just say stem cell research.
No, sir, that could be a part of this.
Well, that's part of STEM too, but still.
I'm about to say, dang.
Nah, but because when we think about the trajectory of where we're going right now, it's kind of spooky. But we already knew this was coming up, so we really got to start really unfortunately, maybe we didn't like math, but we really have to push our kids into math.
Oh,
and, things that we thought that didn't matter when we were quadratic formula, but that shit is mattering now because a lot of things have been hidden in algebra, right? Which we're discovering as we get older. It's like, oh, shit, like when it comes to this Chat GPT and AI and
AI is definitely
so for our kids to have a job forever with this ever so fast moving pace of technology, we gotta kind of lean them to or just see if there's a general interest in this STEM program and stuff like that. So
that's true. My son likes I watch him in the cell phone that they got, and he's pretty good at editing. Yeah. Even with the little basic editing app in the phone, he basically had my cousin's daughter and my godson reenact a scene from Wonder Woman or something like that. Like she was dressed up and like she like hit my godson with the pole, and he had the lightning boom him over here, and
see?
It was. I was like,
that's the kind of stuff we gotta nurture early.
I feel like when you start them young, like you said, just showing them, even if they might not be interested in it, but just showing them and seeing that, and then if they see people like us do it, they get excited. My niece is only 5, and she loves Ada the Scientist because she knows that's a black scientist. So she sees that, and she's like, "Oh, I can do it."
Absolutely.
She gets the costume, she dresses up, she likes that.
Yeah, my daughter used to like
mixed stuff. A black doctor, she sees that. So you see that.
So before we move on with the wage.
I'm sorry, my bad. Let me just say something because Garland sent me a stat about what we were talking about as far as the wages.
Okay.
Usually I have my tablet on the ground, so he sent me notes, but he said this is a stat. He says women earn 83.1% of what men earn in the same job in 2022. Hispanic women are suffering the most from the gender pay gap, earning only 57 cents for every dollar a white man earns. It continues. It says Asian women are the only demographic, of course, of women who actually earn slightly more than white men at $1.01. Goddamn.
Dang.
But that's another.
It's because they know a lot of
conversation.
Languages? Huh? I wonder if it's because they know a lot of languages.
Well,
that's a whole other conversation. Hold on. It says women 65 plus, of course, suffer the most from the gender pay gap, earning only 74.25% of what their male counterparts earn. Dang. And finally, women 16 to 24 are the closest to being equal pay to their male counterparts, earning 94.11% of what they do.
16 to 24?
Man.
Yeah, so which is what that's showing. That last stat is what we just talked about earlier. Those entry-level positions. A 16-year-old through 18-year-old is probably getting like entry-level cashier job. So, of course, it's going to be kind of a little bit the same in that. And then people at 24 are just getting out of college, so their wages will probably be the same during college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
dang.
I mean, and this
I didn't even know.
Ain't
It
is.
Ain't no myth with facts, y'all.
It's not just pay, too. It's also leveling up because you can be in a job for so many years and they won't move you up.
Yeah, it's always some jobs have
you can just be stuck,
like a peak that you can. The highest you'll go is supervisor. Yeah. You know, and
sometimes they won't even give you that. They just let you be stuck.
No, so usually from what I've seen, you'll qualify for it. Let's say, because this is one thing I noticed with the pay gap, a man will be moving up in the ranks. He'll get to a certain area. They rather let him go and have the woman come up. I've seen it. I've seen it. Like they're paying her. They're paying her less.
Right.
Also with the age too.
Because a lot of women is not going to be combative on the pay.
Like most of us are unfamiliar with how to negotiate pay. You know?
Right.
Then so the age matters too.
Well, yeah, that's why somebody
the
16 to 24 was
the same job for cheaper than
because you said 65 was about the worst.
They're the hardest right now.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So you tend to want to kind of have your stuff together.
And then some people have to. I met this lady at my job. She's a 4th grade teacher, same age as my mom, about 65. My mom retired, 28 years education. This lady retired and came back teaching 4th grade, and she wonders every day, why do I do this? But she's like, I have to.
Yeah, I mean
that's unfortunate.
It is. I'm like, ma'am,
it's a lot of stuff they don't.
Should be at home chilling.
So
65.
She can't, right?
But she can't.
Right, can't afford it.
She can't afford it.
So everybody that's tuning in, right? This is one thing I would give y'all.
Yeah.
Get you a financial advisor and look into different. Why we can before you get to like 65 and stuff. Yeah. Look into these different portfolios where your money can grow.
Exactly.
On interest.
So you can actually get a retirement too.
Right. Because
the
401k it's trash, really, if you think about it. Like you can say your company can match you 5%, but they're getting their 5% out of your 401k. So you can be like, oh snap, I got 12,000 in my 401k. I'm moving on up. Yeah, not really. It's not really 12. You know what I'm saying? So whatever your job, even life insurance, anything.
Yeah, that's
always have a
medical
outside
insurance with your job.
Outside
trash.
source of your medical and all that stuff too.
You don't get it.
Me and my wife just had a meeting with our financial advisor yesterday, actually. And
if you could afford it, so how much? Before we move on,
we got life insurance through them. It comes.
Okay, so. Must
be nice.
It's kind of like a privileged thing,
right? Yeah.
You know, so if you can afford it, or if you have life insurance, or have some type of package that it comes with a financial advisor, then God bless. Because some people can't.
Some people, which is important.
And that's why I feel like I'm more of a progressive, right? So I guess we can go. I'm about to like do a sidebar, and then we can continue the conversation. So me and Garland, the producer at Vipod Media, again, make sure you like and follow Vipod Media on YouTube and Facebook.
You heard him.
But we talk about
share.
I talk about reparations a lot. You know what I'm saying, with him, and
we deserve them.
We have these conversations.
Let's get them.
And one of the things that comes to top of mind to some is like, well, god dang, what they gonna do with all this bread if so something you just mentioned was like there's so many different research groups out here that's doing a lot of good work on figuring out the numbers and how to make this money stretch for eons and plenty of time. And something that come to mind is like, financial advisors that can be associated with families and things of that nature to help them with these things that you mentioned. Because again,
that's if
some
they
people
want
just
it.
don't have it.
Because if we get reparations, a lot of people are going to do the same thing they did with these PPP loans.
Yeah. How you think we should get those? Reparations? You think it should be a lump sum, or you should get
like so much a month?
Like a check, or you should be able to choose.
I think you should.
Because I seen I don't know if you watched 85 South Show.
Yeah.
So I seen the one with Tariq Nasheed on there, and he was talking about that. And Carlos Miller was like, "Man, we don't need no reparations. People is gonna go and do this. He was like for what? That's their money. They can." That's my as long as you don't do the stupid stuff with your money.
That's my thing. I'm like, my thing is like there's so many things that can happen when it comes to like education, maybe taxes, or bigger breaks on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like it's gonna be such a battle. But I think the data the data is there. The real world numbers are there. You know what I'm saying? Regarding what was built, how the nation was built, inventions, patents that were stolen, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all of it is there, you know what I'm saying? So I think whatever people want to do with their money, let them do with their money, you know what I'm saying? But one thing I know, there's this thing in economics called trickle-down economics. I think we're going to see the real trickle-down economics if capital wasn't, if we were to get some money like that, meaning like, trickle down, meaning like when we start businesses, we generally hire people that look like us or the closest ethnic group in our proximity, which could be Hispanic, Mexican, or other groups. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So we're gonna see a real, true dissemination of the wealth of the reparations for a very long time. You know what I'm saying?
I think with that too, a lot of the hesitation is maybe.
It's 100% fair. People, white folks are terra-fucking-fied. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Like, that there's nothing to it because they'll sit here like, oh, they don't know what to do with their money. I mean, some of us are going to be making jokes about it. Oh, what we going to do when we get the bread.
Right.
But, like, it's a lot of folks, man. It's a lot of folks in here that's going to do that's going to do really dope things with this money,
Do you feel like reparations should be taxed?
No.
What?
I don't think so, but I'm just wondering.
I feel like shit. We get reparations and a fucking
no
taxes for next 100 years. On top of that,
if it's no need to, so it's really no need to tax it because
do you feel like
they're gonna get
every black person deserves it?
Family.
Do you feel like you have to be 100% black if you have a percentage of black?
What you mean?
We talking about? So I know you're going. So this is a big talking point in the reparations thing. Like,
So like how we're 100% black. But if you got a baby by like a Hispanic person, your child is mixed. Do she get all the way? She deserve?
To be honest, a lot of them were in slavery with us.
I see. This is the
Hispanics, thing. Yeah, but I'm talking about a white person wasn't. So what do you say?
Look, here's what we know: is some white people are gonna get reparations too. Okay, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is like, I don't want to let that deter us from getting reparations.
Exactly. No, I'm not saying it shouldn't, but I'm just wondering, like, just imagine, like, you go get your check, they were like, you 2%.
No,
we have to cut
because
your check.
we know why.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Not y'all, but like.
Or they give you stimulations, like, if we give you this, you know your mama, she white, she can't touch it. Your grandpa can't on your mama's side.
No, I think he was saying families. So for families,
it's like, you know, it's like how everybody got the check for the families and shit like that.
Right. Yeah, like during the pandemic.
Like
that makes sense.
So even if like, so say if it's not a family, or it's not like a mom, dad, and a kid, or mom, dad, 2 kids, or whatever, like my thing is, it's gonna be such a positive impact.
Yeah,
like really it's the money people are going to be sad that they maybe didn't get a reparations check or whatever, but the impact is going to be so everybody going to touch paper.
Exactly.
Everybody going to people. I don't know how to like describe or fully like.
Because you might get hired by someone that's gonna.
Yes,
that's what he was saying. Or
you
might,
opportunity. Yeah, business opportunities.
Like we might start like the biggest fintech technology company in the planet in America.
Exactly.
We might start a black chat GPT. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like we got to. My thing is the way technology and things, the pace that things are moving now, the way the political spectrum is now is like. It's kind of like now or never kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like
I think some people in California is already getting some, right?
Yeah, because again, some states are doing the right thing when it comes to property that
Texas
was seized.
We in a red state.
Texas.
Come on, sir.
Yeah, we in a red state. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, sir.
What we do know is, 2043 is upon us, which scares white people to shit. Where a lot of, again, as this states right now, my favorite stat is some of the kids in this. Most of the kids in this country that is under 18 are majority non-white. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that is terrifying, but I don't know why, though. They shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Because from mixed children and interracial marriages and black people having, like, it's a beautiful thing, but
because
people are just
pure race.
immensely terrified of this. So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, they know they're going to get, it's almost like we're going to get bred out. So we need to hold on as long as we can.
Exactly.
Which is kind of like the trying to prolong the inevitable. You know what I'm saying? Like if you know you finna lose, but you're gonna keep like, I guess boxing. Like you know your eyes closed.
Yeah.
You dizzy, but you still trying to fight because you just.
And see, my thing is like, as we get closer to this year, right?
You said 2043.
Yeah.
So by then, you saying most of the people gonna be
90%
brown skinned?
Yeah, a high percentage. So
Drake brown or
no? Just people. It's gonna be majority people of color.
No, just
but like I think my thing is like gearing up for this time period. It's like that's when I want to start talking more about like whether it be finances, business. Like I always feel like every family in America should have a DB. Every family of color should have a DBA and an arm of something or some type of weapon in their household. Like every family should have a DBA or LLC and for the family, and also some type of weapon. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like gearing up for this particular time period, we start doing certain things like this to kind of, set everything in line. We got to start talking about getting involved in politics and on a local level.
And how voting is important.
I don't mind doing it on a local, but politics I don't know, man. It kind of.
I know.
Getting involved
because like
starts off with just voting or knowing who's in
not
office
even that,
too.
Just like trying to,
but knowing
because
who's
you got to know the history. You're
not saying it doesn't matter, right? You're not saying it doesn't matter.
I'm not saying it doesn't matter. It's just saying it's like it's almost to the point you're like, well, who do I vote for? That's why
that makes sense.
My thing is like,
I
why
think voting,
are certain groups doing so much to gerrymander? Why are they doing so much to having these really invasive voting restrictions on states in the South? You know what I mean? Like,
older
why?
people.
I think so. On a local level, I definitely do think it matters. I don't think it matters with the presidential. I think it matters with the Congress. but I think the presidents are pre-selected. I think it's gonna go whichever way that they want it to go. So with local, if we decide to be like, oh, we're gonna sit down and we really gonna hit this local voting and get to it. I'm down with that because I can probably see that impact more than what the president is doing.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely. Because like the people that are in our proximity have general much deeper impact on our lives. Like when it comes to like DAs and judges,
right.
You know, that's very important. So I don't necessarily have the same sentiment as you regarding the presidential, but I feel like it's not even about us anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's about the kids I just mentioned that are non-white in this country. Them having the general because what we do know is majority of these kids are progressive, right? They don't give a damn about a gay couple walking down the street holding hands. They don't give a damn about, you know, what restroom or, you know, they just like, just go to the fucking restroom. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so they're generally a little bit more progressive when it comes to these certain things. And I think that's going to be the saving grace of this country because, like, some of these kids are not going for it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They want to be involved. They want to be, they are aggressive. They not going to stand for somebody in the middle of the street saying racist shit or like picking on another group of, you know, they're not gonna go for it. And I fuck with that. So
yeah, they definitely got it's a Warriors mentality more now. Yeah. But I'm down with the local. I think our first season we interviewed 4 politicians?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, hell yeah.
Y'all did?
Yeah, that was an experience. It really was. You get to ask some questions that, you know, a lot of people are scared to ask. Especially one of the politicians, when as he was running, his son had gotten into some trouble and got arrested. Right. So we got to ask, how does that affect you running? Do people ask you about that as you're running? Right, does that affect your campaign? As in, when you're in like the setting where they're debating, I feel like sometimes they're scared to ask those type of questions. They just keep it generalized. What are you gonna do for the city? What are you gonna do for your area, region? What are you gonna do for the kids? But they don't ask the personal questions like, well, if you saying that you want to help kids stay out the streets, but your son just got arrested, like, how do you, you know? We get to ask questions like that. So that got to give us, I guess, other people an insight on these politicians and what they're really thinking.
I think we came to the conclusion though we probably won't.
It wasn't as interesting as we thought it would be, but it still helped a little bit. People got to see the other side of the politicians that they normally don't see.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we was the only ones that kind of
did that. And then we asked some other politicians to come on, but I think they're a little scared.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Because it's almost like
scared
so
about questions. You know?
We try to do we kind of when it comes to those type of things. We try to keep it like, I don't want to say the Breakfast Club, but those questions, like the questions that Charlamagne asks you. We try to get those because that's how people are going to get to know you versus just the surface level,
political
questions.
Well, I'm going to start here and work my way to here and make sure that this city is straight. We don't want those politically that you rehearse 10 times, 50 times over and over again. Gotcha. We're going to ask you something different. Yeah. What made you want to run? You sure you can handle this? Are you from the city? You sure you from the city? Because there's sometimes people want that thing from San Antonio.
What about the prostitute? You know, it's just a different question.
Yeah, like for real, like, hey, I'm a proponent of decriminalizing, you know, sex work. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say I'm a staunch abolitionist of certain things, but I'm a staunch like progressive, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta be able to use what's already established as far as government for the people. That's it. Like, that's where I'm not like none of that other conservative. I'm not with none of that shit, you know? But we got 10 more minutes, so I want to make sure we hit all the topics that
So before we get to the last topic, I had said at the beginning that I wanted to recognize the Super Bowl is coming up this Sunday.
Who you going for?
Who?
Fuck the NFL.
We know who you going for.
My team is the Eagles. So.
Oh, never mind. Okay, but, so he ain't got a team.
Fuck the NFL and racial norming.
No, he said that the last time he came up.
But NBA too, low key.
So a couple of historic moments is Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts is the first 2 African Americans to face each other in the Super Bowl.
Feliz Navidad or Happy Black History Month.
And then they're the 2 youngest.
if he had to.
Two youngest African Americans to play against each other.
Exactly.
So another thing is Jalen Hurts has a African American young lady,
agent.
That's his agent, and she's one of the first African American women to actually have one of her clients play in the Super Bowl.
Yep. Okay.
And Philly has a female assistant
also
making history. Philly.
So
look at y'all.
I ran across that on
we doing
on
good
Facebook,
so far.
and I was
Black
like,
History
wow,
Month.
Everybody thought that was his wife.
Right,
yeah. But it's
I ran across that on Facebook, and I was like, man, that's dope to see that, but it's like NFL 50. How many years has NFL been in? 50 something years, but for this to be just now, that's a long time for that to happen. It's not. They're not the only African American quarterbacks to be in the Super Bowl. It's just them together, and being the youngest.
God, dog, the NFL is like one of the most racist fucking groups.
It definitely is.
On the
between that and NASCAR,
that and FIFA. I mean, the corruption.
FIFA is. I've seen some videos on FIFA. I didn't know it was that bad. I don't
even consume the NFL like that anymore. But
I don't
out
really
to
watch
those guys.
I consume my team.
I don't watch NFL, but Super Bowl is always good for the food.
Yeah,
so,
that should be hidden. I'm not gonna lie.
The Super Bowl is good for the food.
A lot of
really do.
Food.
I'm just saying.
Food
that's when your parents really bring out the spread.
Yeah.
The spread.
So the spread. That's when the hot wings really be hot.
Speaking of history, since we're talking about historic moments,
love it.
The Grammys was I don't even know the other
day.
Sunday. Okay,
the Grammys was Sunday
at the body shop.
If you don't know, a lot of people felt like Beyonce got snubbed for the album of the year. Yeah. It's funny because Trevor Noah, shout out to Trevor Noah, he hosted it. Yeah. And then when he opened up the envelope and saw it was Beyonce, he found somebody white. It was funny. Like, he didn't really think it. And he did. He found somebody right.
That's hilarious.
They didn't like the fact that Harry Styles made a comment saying that it's rare for us people so like I'm assuming he's gay. The award.
Man, what was he saying?
I think he meant people. I don't think he meant gay people. I think he meant white people and then people. And plus, he's not from here. He's like from England or something like that.
He should have said England people.
But he didn't say that. So, and he hasn't made a comment on what he meant by that, but a lot of people took the context. And then if we saw the faces of everybody when they knew Beyonce didn't win, a lot of people's faces were shocked.
I'm surprised Kanye
They felt
didn't.
Like she should have won, really.
Because she won. There,
but we always feel like
she did make history.
That's like no cap. Beyonce should win every fucking thing.
If she's in the category,
she still broke history, but still she should have won that.
Yeah, like 19 Grammys.
Chris Brown got upset because he lost against somebody saying he didn't know who this person was, but then he took that back and apologized.
Yeah, that was.
But if you look, and someone broke it down on TikTok, if you look at the rules for winning R&B album or whatever category he was in, he doesn't make traditional R&B anymore. So that's probably why he didn't win.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That album
who did he lose to?
The Breezy album. That's what.
Yeah.
And
also too, you also got to be current. Yeah, Chris Brown dropped some current music, but the one song that most people be bumping, he dropped 2 years ago. The one song everybody been bumping, the Robitussin and all that, Molly and all that.
Yeah.
He dropped that 2 years ago, which I didn't even know. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know he dropped that 2 years ago.
Well, that's his second time getting snubbed then.
But one thing about the Grammys, they did do the hip hop tribute, which they killed it. Busta Rhymes, Salt and Pepper, Queen Latifah, all of them, they killed it. Jazzy Jeff on the ones and twos with the scratches killed it. What else? But they did not do good with the J-Lo. I don't know why they have J-Lo. J-Lo don't need to perform nowhere. She can just sit down and just be in the audience. I'm sorry. They had Smokey Robinson come out do My Girl. She tried to sing with him. Did not do good. They had Alicia Keys come out. They did a song. They did decent because Alicia Keys was mostly singing. And then if you don't know,
so why was J-Lo the highlight of this?
She was doing a Motown tribute. I don't know why they had her do a Motown.
Jenny from the Block.
First she was supposed to do a Whitney Houston tribute. People didn't like that. Then they had to do it. No. But this is the second year.
No. Yeah.
This is the second year they're doing a Motown tribute. I don't know why they didn't learn from the first year. But what was dope is, if you don't know, Boyz II Men, Wanye from Boyz II Men has kids. They're boys. They got to perform too with Stevie Wonder. Okay. So that was dope. And I followed them, but they actually dope singers. They have two sisters that sing too. So they're dope.
Watch this.
Yeah, I'm probably
so
you
gotta watch it. If you just look up
TikTok,
YouTube, the tribute, the hip hop tributes on there, their performances on there.
Didn't Viola Davis?
Yeah, she got the EGOT. If you don't know
when
what
they said that, I was like, what in the hell?
If you know, that's Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony.
Yeah, I think Jamie Foxx got an EGOT too. I think.
Yeah, it's not. I think what's her name? I see her face. She's on The View. Whoopi Goldberg is another one that got the EGOT. Cause I looked up how many African Americans won.
Oh wow, okay.
I thought Denzel was one, but he wasn't.
No cap, that's
Denzel's
prestige.
not even one.
Wow.
I thought he was one, but he wasn't.
Yeah. So we had. So sidebar before we cut off, we had a debate on actors. So we was saying
Jamie Foxx and Will Smith, right?
It was Jamie, Denzel, and Will. The talented.
Who you got?
Who's the
minus
most talented?
We can count biopics, but minus Jamie singing. The singing don't count because Jamie got singing.
I go Denzel, Will, and Jamie. I think a lot of people would agree with that. I think they would agree with that.
Me personally, I had Jamie at the top. Jamie is so.
I watched the Jimmy Foxx show more. I watched Jimmy Foxx show and I watched the
as far as like acting go, he can cover a wide spread of things. Will Smith too, though.
Yeah.
So, but I think.
And then one of the lines that Jimmy Foxx said in his series ended up being a producer tag. Hey, yo,
Pierre, you got that?
Yeah, Pierre, you got that?
Yeah, that's dope.
Let me ask you this and wrap it up real quick, right? So, are y'all mad? Where do y'all sit when it comes to like mad, angry, or indifferent about the Sam Smith performance at the Grammys? Because white people have lost their mind,
man,
over this dude. I mean, I'm talking about the shit I was seeing.
I feel like
the battle is not visible. It's not with flesh.
Well, you know, white
it's
people
not with flesh.
You know, white people lost their minds when Macklemore performed and then ended up with the kiss at the end of the two couples. You don't remember that one year?
Shit, I thought you was talking about what's my guy name?
Lil Nas X.
Yeah.
No, but there was a year where Macklemore performing some song and it wasn't in the rehearsal, and at the end the two couples that were gay ended up kissing, and they went all, oh my gosh, they kissing.
They put it in front of my kids' face.
Exactly.
What did Sam Smith? You say he had devil horns?
He dressed up in the devil's suit. He had some lady, right?
The song is called Unholy, y'all. God damn.
He had a lady in a cage.
It's in context.
Pretending to like whip a devil or something like that. It was like a lot of
So what's the difference between that and what Lady Gaga would do?
There ain't no difference.
Well, then the year Nicki Minaj, remember, almost had a seance where she was floating in the air. You don't remember that year? Go look that up. When Nicki Minaj was doing Dungeon Dragon or something, whatever that song is. So she was doing some song and she was laying back and they had her floating in the air. And So what's the difference between that?
If y'all go on TikTok Live or TikTok, we got these conservatives. I mean, they just don't. They just scatter every fucking thing.
But I also feel like a lot of this stuff is a marketing.
That don't fuck with that shit either. But listen, man, like I'm not in the group of othering folks, man. Like I don't think there's an agenda. Like all I know is there's nefarious actors
and marketing
at play.
Mm-hmm. And marketing.
You know what I'm saying? And marketing, capitalism. That's the thing that we're talking about here. But do I think there's some type of, they're trying to turn my kid gay. God damn it. They had a fucking trans woman on the fucking, I don't think that. Like,
well, they didn't like that. They also didn't like the fact that Maverick City performed with Quavo. And because Quavo was doing a tribute. Huh?
Who?
It's Quavo? Maverick City. It's a
Maverick City, he sings with Quavo. It's a gospel choir. Oh. And they sung back up with Quavo. And Quavo did a tribute to his brother that died, and he was saying, "Do y'all remember when we were smoking blunts?"
DJ Khaled.
Do y'all remember when we were smoking blunts? Do y'all remember when?
Gospel group
they like the fact that he was singing backup when he was saying, "Do y'all remember smoking blunts and all that?" And they're like, and then all of that.
Oh yeah, because church people don't smoke.
But Maverick City also had an issue where they recently kicked out one of their members because their members were doing some stuff that was like deemed unholy. But they're like, oh, you go ahead and do this. So maybe you can.
That's why I don't like this. Everything is contradictory and it don't. That's why I don't partake in this shit, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, yo, I'm focusing on morality. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no agenda. There's no look. What we do know there's agenda is food. God damn it. Like a lot of shit that's banned in other countries. We eat here every fucking
I don't
day.
think it's an agenda. I think that's just straight up assassination.
It is
capitalism. I'm trying to tell everybody, god dang, it's not sustainable. But I don't know.
And Lil Nas X is not really gay.
We wrapping up right now, guys. But so where do y'all fall in line with?
I feel like his performance was okay. It is what it is.
If the song is called Unholy and he's dressed up,
he did the performance. He was performing.
It's expected. Just like if somebody got a song called Holy.
That's up for marketing. I don't think Lil Nas X.
I don't think he's gay.
We talked about this. We don't think he's gay. It's marketing.
Yeah, but if he is, fuck it.
If he is,
yeah,
that's the beautiful thing about it. If he is gay, fuck it.
Yeah, so think about it. If Sam Smith would have did a regular performance, do you think we'd be talking about it?
No.
He did his job.
No, because the dude is non-binary. Somebody will be like, they got non-binary folks performing at the Grammys. Now, there goes the fucking...
I ain't never knew what non-binary was.
I thought that was a math equation. But I feel like if he did a regular performance, we would not be talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's why Janet Jackson...
That's why he does what he did, so we can talk about it. People do stuff so we can talk about it. That's why Harry Styles said what he said, so we can talk about it. That's why people dress the way they dress, so we can talk about it.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree with that.
If you're doing normal stuff, we don't care. We ain't talking about it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well,
so that is... Well, I'm sorry. Anything else?
No, I was going to say, either way, if the song was called Holy and he came out there dressed as an angel or some shit, somebody would have fucking got mad about that.
Oh my God. Jesus not white. He's black.
Because we'd be like, a non-binary angel. You can't wear the fucking Christ.
Then you're going to be like, Jesus ain't white. He's black with a cherry coat.
Yeah, they would find something. They find something wrong with no matter what you do.
Well, guys, I want to thank you guys so much, and for everybody that was watching. Again, this was the Way You Ask podcast takeover. Yes. We talked about everything that they were originally going to talk about on their show. They came through. The idea for this whole month and next month is to have different groups kind of come in.
And we was the first. So
we set the bar up high, so y'all better come with it.
We had a really nice conversation.
All y'all are followers.
We don't want to hear all them sex topics. Come with the bar.
Yeah.
Just throwing shots
black
out
people,
there.
fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Love our people. But anything y'all want to say in closing? You know what I'm saying? I have fun.
Shout outs.
Shout out to my wife and my kids. Shout out to T1. Shout out to my podcast family. Shout out to Liveify Studios.
Plug.
Yeah, you know. And that's it, man. I'm just thankful right now. I'm just thankful.
Shout out to my podcast team, T1. Shout out to my U3 radio team, my Holations podcast team, the Sex Podcast. Go ahead, check that out. New episode drops every Friday.
51st, you heard?
Hopefully we'll be in here soon. You know, you never know. Praying that into existence. Shout out to everyone that support us. Shout out to all the black podcasters. This is Black History Month, like Where You Ask, If This Mic Could Talk, Radioactive, Amzai with the San Pluto.
I'm a show though.
Shout out to Not the Same Podcast out of St. Louis. FOH Podcast. They're over there in the Atlanta area. They got FOH After Dark stands for fuck out of here. They have 2 sessions. They have Sports Conflicts. They have a couple podcasts. Yeah. And they also have their own media team. They did 2 movies. One movie is called Unexpected. Damn. The other one is called My Ex Is My Next. Damn. Go ahead, check that out. Unexpected is on Tubi. So it's a dope movie. Shout out. I don't think any other black podcasters I missed. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Charge it to my mind, not my heart. But I know y'all. Oh, what's the one? The one down here with IQ and them. I can't think of their name.
Cheap Suits.
Yeah. Shout out to Cheap Suits. Shout out to Inglorious Rappers. They just changed their name to a new podcast name.
I did see that. Break Room something?
Yeah, the Break Room. So they're another black podcast. I think all the other black podcasts. If I don't forget you, shout out to y'all. Deadass with Kadeem and Ellis. I love watching them. Shout out to them. They dope people, married couples. You know. Kadeem and Ellis.
You got to link me to some of these wife because I want to have them come in. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you go to our Instagram, we did that last year for Black History Month. We dropped the black podcast every month, every day, every episode. So I'll send it to you. I'll send you the information. I got you. And then also on my U3 website, you should see all the podcasts listed there too. I try to support people when I can. But yeah.
Thank y'all for all that y'all do, and thank y'all for being a part of the first ever takeover episode.
Now you gotta be on our show.
Okay, cool. Yeah, y'all have me on, man.
Even a sex podcast. Don't be scared.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Married people be scared.
I'm the fifth a lot, but you know,
it's crazy because that's how I found him and Travis looking for a co-host for a sex podcast. I remember that story. Yeah, so that's.
But Garland, thank you so much. Make some noise for our producer and the owner of Vipod Media, man. Always making us look crispy and good and letting us run over time. But yeah, take us home, man. Y'all have a good night, and until next time, peace. Remember this?
Oh Lord, how old are you?
Everything just, man. Go get that.